to do a marine insurance course, which I did. It was a 2-year diploma course. I did it, and I generated more competencies in it. In my work as a shipping practitioner, I managed to do a lot of claims work. I managed to streamline the departments in claims work. I was able to do manuals and processes regarding claims because the department was not well done for, because claims is seen as the tail end of all shipping matters. I managed to turn it around to ensure that we use claims as a means of marketing, so that when you keep your customers satisfied, you are able to bring more business to the shipping company and your principals. And I had another cap within that office where I specialized in matters of maritime ship insurance, where I was what they call a correspondent, to deal with all urgent matters when a member of the shipping line docks in the port and there is any problem about it. There is a stowaway on board, you have to deal with it. A damaged cargo, you deal with it. If there is an accident between the ship with another ship in the port or with port installations, we have to deal with it. And you deal with matters where every minute counts, and there is a lot of repercussions if there is any delay. So that exposed me to high pressure work and quality work and good planning. And to do that work, you had to collaborate with very many stakeholders, be it the KPA, the port police, clearing and forwarding agents, transporters, marine surveyors of different nature. And it exposed me at that time to stakeholder engagement. I'll just fast forward I will exit from the discipline of shipping. I did about 14 or 15 years in shipping. I even opened my own ship insurance company as a correspondent, not to insure, but to do the same high-octane work. Because our company got sold to Maersk Lines, and I was not, they didn't have any claims correspondents out there. And I didn't want to join mainstream shipping because the work I was doing was more interesting. You don't know what will happen today in that kind of work scenario. You have to manage things on your feet. After that, I went into practice. I practiced a little bit, but I was also doing my correspondence work. And then started the journey of 2007, 2008, post-election violence, and the coming in of the international mediation. And they formed several institutions as part of the Agenda 4. And I applied for one of the Agenda 4 commissions then. That was the Interim Independent Boundaries Review Commission. And we were tasked with the work of delimiting constituencies. And before the Constitution was passed, we had a slightly different criteria of what we had to do. And we were not given, for example, the number of constituencies. The parameters were given, but they had a slight differentiation before and after the promulgation of the Constitution. So we started working, we collected the necessary information from the public. We did the agenda, we unpackaged what our mandate would look like. It was a new Constitution, so we had to establish structures. I was an integral part of those who were doing the structures. I was the only advocate or person with legal training in the Boundaries Commission. So I led, and we all did it in a collegiate manner, and packaging and setting up of the structures. And it was a very short time frame to do the work, 1.5 years, very contentious. We are coming from a post-conflict society. Boundaries, we know they're very emotive. So we had to manage the issues around it. We dealt with politicians because on the ground they will be there. Each one wants to have a better edge from the other, or so they thought. but because of very aggressive public participation, very aggressive civic education, we were able to undertake our mandate. It had its ups and downs, yes. We finished our work right at the nick of the moment, and in between, going back, we transversed from the older constitution to the new constitution, so we had to redo quite a bit of work. For example, we couldn't do the wards anymore because that was not part of our initial mandate, and we had already done the civic and people participation on the ground. We couldn't do it again, so we proceeded with the delimitation of the constituencies. We were, with the new constitution coming in, we were to gazette our findings. We prepared, gazetted the findings, but then the findings were not gazetted. There were court cases at the eve of our mandate lapsing, which stopped us from proceeding anymore with it. And, but we submitted our findings to Parliament, which was part of the requirement. After that, we exited. And our work as the Boundaries Commission was to do the boundary delimitation and to increase the additional constituencies, which were now from 210 to 290, along those parameters that were required. So we worked, we did that, we delimited, we gave the names to the boundaries, we gave the descriptions, but we had an issue around when we submitted the findings for publication, and the court cases came in between. The matter was then taken over by the new commission, which exited from the independent interim election commission. The new constitution now merged the two, as it were, but it was a brand new constitution with people who want to come in. They had to do fresh applications. So what we did was we exited, and it was taken up by the incoming, the current body, EIBC, and our work was validated because Parliament then gave instructions, and it's in the EIBC Act for the first delimitation, that they use what we have done as the source document, and they invited all comments about what was wrong with the delimitation from stakeholders. They made a report to the EIBC, and the EIBC was able to make adjustments. They were minimal in nature, and the report was returned to Parliament, and Parliament eventually gave recommendations, and EIBC gazetted those findings. So in terms of what I will bring to the Commission, in terms of what I want to apply, is this cumulative experience I've had in terms of developing systems and packaging the law, civic education, stakeholder participation, governance structures, and executing our mandate to the best of our ability. And working under extreme pressure, in terms of electoral experience, is the experience which I generated largely in the Boundaries Commission, which is part of the Electoral Commission's job. So these are the experiences that I've had, and what I bring on the table is proven work ethic and integrity, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Murshid.